What is Git? Why every developer should learn Git. Imagine you spending weeks building a website, mobile application, or software project. Everything is working perfectly until one day you accidentally delete an important file or make a change that breaks your entire project. Oh, now you're stuck. You don't remember exactly what changed. You don't have any backup, and hours or even days of work could be lost. This is a problem developers faced for many years. As the software projects become larger and teams become bigger and new AI tools that could change a lot of codes for you, managing code change become increasingly difficult. Developers needed a way to track their work, collaborate efficiently, and recover from mistakes. That's where Git come in. Today, Git is one of the most widely used tools in software development. Whether you're building a personal project, working in a startup, contributing to open source softwares, or developing products for large technology companies, Git is the fundamental tool and skill that every developer should know. In this video, we will explore what Git is, why it was created, and how it helps developers, and why it has become an essential part of modern software development. Before understanding Git, let's first understand the problem. Imagine a team of 5 developers working to the same application. So, what's the problem with that? One developer is creating a login system, another is improving user interface, a third developer is fixing bugs, a fourth is adding new features, and the fifth is updating the database. So, what's the problem? Every day, dozens or even hundreds of changes are made to the project. It's huge, nobody can manage it. Without a system to manage these changes, chaos quickly appears. Developers accidentally override each other's work. So, important files get deleted. It's the worst thing that happened in the project. Bugs are introduced without knowing when they appears. Nobody knows which version of the project is the latest one. So, to avoid these problems, many developers used to create multiple folders. This is an alternative, but for example, maybe the latest folder name is project, or maybe project underscore final, or maybe project underscore final underscore v2, or project underscore final underscore really underscore final, or project underscore final underscore latest underscore version, or project underscore final underscore latest underscore version underscore updated. Oh, that's huge. At some point of the folder names become long than the actual code, and surprisingly human achievement. Clearly, there had to be a better way, So what is Git? Git is a version control system. A version control system is a tool that tracks change made to files over time. Instead of manually creating copies of your project, Git automatically records changes and stops storing the complete history of your work by copies. So think of Git as a time machine for your project. Whenever you make progress, Git allows you to save a snapshot of your project. Later, if something goes wrong, you can return to the previous version. Phew, that's a relief. You can see what changed. You can see when it changed. You can also see who changed it. It's amazing. And you can also restore all the version whenever you need it, whenever it's necessary. This gives developers confidence to experiment, to achieve the project without fear of losing their work. Why was Git created? Git was created in 2005 by Linus Torvalds, At the time, Linux and thousands of developers were working on the Linux operating system. Managing contribution from so many developers was becoming increasingly difficult. Existing tools were either too slow, too expensive, or didn't provide the flexibility needed for a large project as operating systems such as Linux. As a result, Linux created Git. His goal was simple: create a system that fast, reliable, secure, and capable of managing large software projects. Over the years, Git became the standard version control system used across the software industry. Today, millions of developers rely on the Git every day. How Git helps developers? One of the Git's greatest strengths is that it makes mistakes less dangerous. Imagine you add new feature, suddenly the application stops working. Without Git, fixing the problem might take hours. With Git, you can simply return to a previous working version. Git also makes collaboration much easier. Instead of one person working at a time, multiple developers can work on the same project simultaneously. Everyone can contribute independently while Git keeps track of the changes. When their work is ready, the changes can combine into a single project. It also creates transparency. Every modification has a history. Teams can, understand when happened in the project and why created this decision, who did it. This becomes essentially and important to target applications that are maintained for years. Many beginners think Git is only useful for large companies. In reality, Git is valuable even when working alone. Imagine you're building your own website. You decide to redesign the homepage. After several hours of work, you realize the original design was better. Without Git, recovering the previous version could be difficult. With Git, you can simply restore the earlier version. Now imagine working with a team. Instead of sending project files through email, cloud drives, or messaging application, Git provides a structured and professional workflow for sharing code and managing changes. This is why Git is used by startups, software agencies, universities, open source communities, and some of the world's largest technology companies. A common misconception among beginners is that Git and GitHub are the same. They are not actually. Git is a version control system, but GitHub is a platform that stores or hosts Git repositories online. Think of Git as an engine of a car. GitHub is the road network that allows people to collaborate and share their work. Developers use Git to manage the project locally, and platforms such as GitHub to store and collaborate on those projects online. Why you should learn Git? If you are learning programming, Git is one of the most valuable skills you can acquire. It helps protect your work, it improves collaboration, it increases productivity, it allows you to experiment safely, and it is expected knowledge in most software development jobs. Whether your goal is web development, mobile development, game development, data science, cybersecurity, or software engineering, Git will become a regular part of your workflow. Learning Git early will save you countless hours and help you work more professionally from the beginning. Git is much more than a developer tool. It is a system that helps developers organize their work, collaborate effectively, track changes, and recover from mistakes. It solves real problems that every developer eventually encounters. That's why Git has become one of the most important technologies in the modern software development. In the next video, we will install Git, create our first repository, and begin using Git in real project. Until then, remember, writing code is important, but protecting and managing your code is just as important. And that's exactly what Git was designed to do.